Yo, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the Steam 2 video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another weapon that's been kind of flying under the radar. Another one of those wardrobe weapons. Today, we're taking a look at the linear fusion rifle, the SUSPECTUM-4FR. So, we're going to be talking about this weapon, what makes it unique, what makes it special, looking at some of the weapon rules that it can get, and also, I'm going to letting you guys know what are the best, so you can start hunting your god roll. And afterwards, we're going to have a bit of a review, just kind of talking about the good things about the weapon, the bad things about the weapon, all of that. First of all, before we get started with any of that, let's talk about how to actually get the weapon. And that is probably going to be the hardest part out of just anything to do with this weapon. Because since it is a wardrobe weapon, there is no way to focus it or any real way to try to get this weapon. You just kind of get lucky. And actually, now that I think about it, you really have to get double lucky, because you gotta get lucky the first time to actually get the weapon to drop, and then you gotta get lucky a second time to actually get a good roll on this weapon. I feel like Bungie definitely has to do something with the world drops, because that pool is like huge currently. So getting a world drop weapon to drop, like a specific one, is super rare. I'm pretty sure that I've only seen the new world drop weapons drop a couple of times each one. And they've been playing like non-stop since Final Shape. So the drop rates are really bad. Now this weapon is going to be a stasis linear fusion rifle, which is actually a type of fusion rifle we don't have too many in the game. The best one being Reed's Regret. This weapon is better in certain situations and with certain perk combos, and is worse than the Reeds in others. So it's not overall just better or worse than it. It kind of depends what you want to do with it, because this thing has some crazy utility that the Reed's Regret can't even do. Especially since they both also have the same origin trait, Bystinger, meaning that every time you do some damage, there's a chance that it's gonna partially reload your weapon. So, that being said, that's where we should head to next. Let's talk about some of the perks that you can get on this weapon. Like always, we're gonna start with the barrels and moving over to the trait perks. So, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get started with the barrels here, and these are our options. We have Arrowhead Break, Chamber Compensator, Corkscrew Rifling, Standard Barrel, the Fluted Barrel, Full Bore, Hammer Forge Rifling, Polygonal Rifling, and lastly Small Bore. Now, to be completely honest, the barrel's not really gonna matter. You can pretty much go with any barrel. Any barrel that you get is gonna be fine. But the best ones I would say are probably the Arrowhead Break and the Chamber Compensator. They both give you some recoil control and also some handling. And handling's pretty nice in this weapon. Now for the magazine, this is what we have. We have accelerated coils, enhanced battery, ionized battery, liquid coils, particle repeater, and then projection fuse. And the best ones here are going to be either enhanced battery to increase your mag, or accelerated coils so we can charge up our fusion rifle a little faster. We are going to lose a little bit of impact with accelerated coils, but I think being able to fire the weapon faster will make it so we basically make that up. So those are the two perks that I think that you should go for on your mag. And now let's move on to the things that really matter. Let's take a look at the trait perks. So these are the options we have for the first perk. We have Backup Plan, Envious Assassin, No Distractions, Headstone, Ensemble, and Enlighten Action. The main ones that are going to be good here is going to be Envious and also Headstone. So Envious is just going to make it so we can overflow the magazine. This is going to be the go-to if you want to do some DPS with this weapon. If you want to pair it up with the firing line, with precision instrument, then this is going to be the perk that you want to go for. This is going to be like the DPS perk. Now, Headstone is something that I typically don't recommend on like heavy weapons. But if you want to go for the utility side of this linear, then I could see Headstone working with like some stasis builds. But I definitely think that even if you go for utility, I still think Envious is probably going to be a little bit better than Headstone. There's just not really that many good perks in this first slot. You basically are looking for Envious and mostly use Envious. But now let's move on to the second perk, and that is where we have a lot of good options. So this is what we have. We have Firing Line, Bots Breeding, Precision Instrument, 4 times the Charm, Choke Clip, and then High Ground. The main ones I kind of want to talk about are Firing Line, Precision Instrument, and then lastly Choke Clip. Now if you want this weapon for some DPS, then either Firing Line or Precision Instrument are going to be your go-tos. Firing Line is a 20% damage increase, while fully stacked up Precision Instrument is going to be a 25% damage increase. So Precision Instrument overall is going to give you a bigger buff, but it will take a couple of shots for you to actually get there. While Firing Line is just immediately 20% extra damage. I think it's really going to come down to how fast you need that damage. Do you have some time to like build up Precision Instrument? Or do you want the extra damage right away with Firing Line? But regardless, both of these perks are going to be fantastic if you're looking for a damage perk. Now let's talk about Chill Clip, and this is the reason that I kind of want to talk about this weapon, because it gives this weapon crazy amounts of utility, especially when you pair it up with Envious. Chill Clip is going to give us the ability to stun overloads and unstoppables, so you're going to be able to stun 2 types of champions from a distance just with this weapon, and that makes it pretty good. And if you go for Envious, you're going to have a ridiculous amount of shots with Chill Clip, so you're always going to be freezing or slowing with your shots. I think Chill Clip is going to be fantastic for dealing with a lot of different enemies, but especially champions. If you go into an activity that has some stoppables or overloads, then this thing is going to have some crazy utility. Not only is it going to be able to stun the champion by itself, but then it's also, you know, a heavy linear, so you're still going to be able to put in some pretty good damage against those champions. So if you kind of want this weapon more for like GMs and for its utility, then Chill Clip is what you're looking for. So I'll say these 3 perks are probably going to be the best ones for this column. I also very quickly want to mention 4 times the charm, because they can roll in the second column, but I don't really see it being useful with a lot of the first column perks, so that's why I didn't really mention it too much. You could run with something like Headstone maybe, but that's probably like the best case scenario. But anyways, now let's move on and start talking about some god rolls. So this is going to be the first one right here, Accelerate Coils plus Envious and Chill Clip. This is going to be the utility roll. You want to take this into the GMs, then this is going to be your GM's linear. That Chill Clip plus Envious combo is just going to be so nice. Being able to have just so many Chill Clip shots is going to be pretty great. Now the second roll is going to be for DPS. We have Enhanced Battery plus Envious, and then Precision Instrument or Firing Line, whichever of the 2 you get. But this is going to be the roll that you want if you want to do DPS with this weapon. If you happen to get Accelerated Coils with Precision Instrument, that could also work, since you'll be able to shoot faster and just going to build up Precision Instrument faster. And the final roll I want to talk about is going to be Enhanced Battery plus Headstone and Chill Clip. This one, again, is going to be a utility one. I don't think it's going to be as good as Envious Chill Clip, but it will work better if you are using a stasis build, I think. So, that one only applies to the stasis build. The other one pretty much works with anything. So those are the god rolls that I think are going to be good on this weapon. If you guys have any other perk combinations, or maybe a perk I didn't mention, then make sure you tell me in the comments below. But yeah, now let's just kind of talk a little bit about this weapon. So I actually think this weapon is good. I like some of the rolls that can roll in this weapon. The only downside and the reason that a lot of people are probably not going to use it is because it's just really hard to get. Sure, there's going to be some people that get lucky and then the first one they get is just like a god roll. But for everyone else, it's going to be pretty hard to get one of these. So I don't expect to see this weapon too much. The main thing that I really like on this weapon though is definitely going to be the Chill Clip Envious roll. That's going to give it some really nice utility in the GMs, and that's probably the roll that I'm going to be using the most. Now for DPS, I think this weapon is going to be doing some pretty decent damage. I think it's going to be pretty on par with the Reeds. The main problem on it, and where the Reeds is probably going to be better, is going to be just the ammo economy. You're going to be able to have more ammo with the Reeds, because it has 4 times the charm and a damage perk. Well, this one, 4 times the charm is right there in the same column as the damage perks, so you can't pair them up together. So because of that, the Reeds is going to have better ammo economy, and thus, you know, just kind of be better in the DPS phase. But this thing will still definitely be able to put in some good damage. Like I said, especially if it stays a surge, this thing will definitely do you good. But anyways, with that, we're going to end today's video. I appreciate everyone stopping by today. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this weapon? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Have you gotten a good roll with it? I'm actually kind of interested in what rolls you guys have gotten, since this thing is so rare. But anyways, I appreciate everyone stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.